All right, you are now tuned in to the Rotated Views podcast. I am your host, Jimmy Lee Velez. I'm here with Heck, Goose, and Gabe. That's right, folks. Focus. In this episode, the crew talks about the techniques they use to concentrate and maintain their focus. We cover topics that range from distractions, exercise, breaks, music, planning, sleep, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Phillip Sweet and Jack Canfield. If you're new, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to download and subscribe. We drop a new episode every Tuesday morning for your listening pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. We kick things off with a definition from dictionary.com, and of course, we define focus. They defined it as to direct one's attention or efforts. Pretty straightforward. We grabbed an article from fastcompany.com titled 8 Ways to Improve Your Focus. And I'm just going to go over the 8, and then we could kind of talk about each one. Number 1, prepare your brain. Number 2, understand where your focus needs to be. Number 3, unplug for 30 minutes. Number 4, grab some coffee. Number 5, check the thermostat. Number 6, turn on some music. Number 7, take short breaks. And number 8, doodle. Out of those 8, does anyone want to hit a specific one?
Well, it seems 4 to 6 is 7.
4 through 6 is 7. Grab some coffee. Check the thermostat.
Yeah, that's what I was. The way you said it was different.
Kind of number 4, but yes, I do get that. Because number 4 is
or 3. Like
I mean, even 3, like unplug for 30 minutes.
Yeah, 3 is unplug and take short breaks. But they'll explain what they all mean. But I agree with you. But the grab some coffee is like a stimulant, though, so that's kind of different. Okay. So let's see how they break this down. Prepare your brain. Before a task, calm your brain. Take a minute or two to sit in a comfortable position and breathe deeply into your stomach. You have to sit cross-legged or chant. You don't have to sit cross-legged. I was about to say, or chant. Let your body calm down before you approach your work. You'll find it really helps you to concentrate. I kind of get what they're saying. It sounds funny saying this, but I guess it's just like a instead of just like rushing into whatever, it's kind of like gathering your thoughts or whatever, and then the topic is focus. It's not just bum rush your day like an animal.
It's kind of like too, like not jumping from one thing to the other. It's like
exactly
not take a short
break, a breather,
but take a breather real quick to kind of like you said,
grab some coffee.
So the other thing too, why that it's a good point. I'm not sure. I don't even know if these are in any particular order. But it just says 8 tricks for eliminating distractions.
So it's not 8 steps.
Yeah, it's not 8 steps. Yeah. So I think a lot of that's important too. It's kind of like a check in your mind. Yeah. A lot of people drive to work. Sure. Not everybody. Yeah. Or commute. Let's just say. Yeah. And that's normally the time for me. Sometimes I drive with the radio on, so it just depends on whatever my mood is. But and we'll get more into this as the episode continues. But part of that is this time where I'm gathering my stuff.
Sure. Okay.
But you ever hear the old sayings like don't bring home into work, like your home life into work.
Right.
It's kind of like that thing. So if you're not doing this and you're not conscious about what you're doing, I think that's kind of where they're going with that. I don't know if it's like they said it's not crossing your legs and saying the chant, but some people that's what they have to do. Some people have to meditate. Some people have to pray. Some people just have to keep complete silence.
Something to kind of remove yourself from the previous situation.
Right. Yeah. Or some people have this chaotic way of operating and they need the craziness and they can stop before, entering into the workplace.
Kind of compartmentalize the situations.
So this kind of like number 2 tags along with number 1 with preparing your brain.
Sure. Understand
where your focus needs to be. Focus also involves an understanding of what is worthy of your distractions. An executive director at American Productivity states, success comes down to embedding that focus into a flow of how you work. They suggest taking time to identify what deserves your focus for the year, the month, week, day. Then look at your calendar and block some time dedicated to focus.
was more like make a plan, kind of like what you
My thing for that is I get that. I love that. I mean, you know me, the goal setting. Sure. I'm all for that stuff. But I also feel like there has to be a trigger for this, not just writing it down on a calendar. It's great that you did, but the problem is that's when your schedule works out perfect. Yeah. What happens when your schedule isn't perfect and your car broke down and now you're driving your wife to work and then you're driving yourself to work and then your mind's all over it. You're not perfectly focusing. You can if you have that level of self-control. Good for you. The average person doesn't. So if this is speaking more to like a higher level CEO, I can see that person shutting things down and being able to, as Gabe would say, compartmentalize their thoughts and their feelings and able to drive, their day. But just writing it down and this is my time to focus. That's a huge pet peeve for me in the personal development industry.
Well, in my way, I kind of do like prepare your brain, like, and then understand as I'm driving to work, like you just said, some people gather themselves, they shut down. But as you're driving down, as I am driving to work, I go grab coffee on my way to work, and I'm shutting down from what's behind me at home and trying to like map out my daily plan for work, just for the day or just even for the first half of the day. Like I look at my schedule, what appointments I have, what breaks do I have, what can I do if I have to run to some errands in between. Like as I'm going to work, I'm trying to map out so when that time comes, I'm not just standing still like what the heck. Like kind of, it's not like I'm mapping out my day till like I go to sleep. It's just the big chunk of my day. Yeah. So that's what I do. That I mean,
you kind of get the broad overview of like what you're going to be doing.
That's like, okay, so for me, every single day I have a to-do list. It's a small like whatever, and it's very basic. If any, it's not even necessarily like a do this, do 400 push-ups. It's not nothing like that. It's literally stuff I got to get done. Go to the post office. Go to the bank. It's like literally, it's a small thing. I have to get these done today. Yeah. If they don't get done today, it literally messes up the rest of the week. Businesses close at a certain hour. You have to squeeze things at a certain time. I have appointments. I have scheduling. I have a family. I have all this other stuff going on. So it has to get knocked out today for whatever the reason may be. But that's not saying at 2 o'clock I have to go to the bank.
Sure.
And if I don't go at 2 o'clock, then I ruin my day. That's where this kind of is like,
there's not a specific time associated with that. It's just that something you have to, you have to do, but it's going to
and I will get it done. Yeah. It's just me manipulating my day because you also, that's being realistic too. Sure. Yeah. The day's going to throw something at you. Dude, you could plan as best as they come, and all of a sudden on your way into work, there's a car accident. That's not, you're not in a car accident. There's just a car accident, and now you're in a traffic jam. Yeah. Even if it's for an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes, it's still throwing your whole thing off. So that whole like minute for minute, I've done it. Yeah. Listen, I've done it. I've done it for a year. I did it before. No. Like just all my appointments, everything. And it almost drives you crazy. Sure. Yeah. Because there's no way to keep you are a prisoner to the clock. Yeah. In which a lot of us are, but I would like for it to be in a more loose manner. Whether it's so like just, and I was crazy about the time. Like literally insane about the time.
You kind of almost obsess over it.
How did your day go when you were like that? How was your day?
I mean, I was anxious all day.
Yeah, you were never calm, relaxed.
Because you're more trying to get to the next thing as opposed to focusing on what.
Yes.
The point is focusing on what you are at the
last thing. Yeah. So it took almost how focused it was. It almost took me out of focus. Sure. Yeah. Where then I learned to same thing where I was like, I have to accomplish this, and this. By a certain time,
where the only focus was trying to keep your time schedule.
Right, exactly.
As opposed to actually accomplishing whatever you're
Because here's the thing. Sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you try and how focused, again, you are. I'm going to keep repeating this. So when someone says, I want to be, I want to make whatever it is, $1 million by the time I'm 45 years old. I want to have $1 million income, right? If someone says that, okay, when that doesn't happen, then what? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So then even if you're working your tail off to get there, what if it just doesn't happen then? Sure. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say that you weren't working your butt off. Yeah. So then it plays these weird things in your mind. So instead, you could say that. That's great. I want to be a millionaire by 45 years old, a multimillionaire by 45 years old. That's great. Then fight for it. Because guess what? You could do it by 35. You could do it by 30. You could do it by 20. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But the way you not setting goals can counteract by setting goals. So you know how some people say like a goal can also limit you. That sounds so weird, but what if you can do it 5 years earlier?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you have this little thing in the back of your head like, oh, I'm going to push it off another 5 years. I'm 40. I got another 5 more years, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just because you, who doesn't really know, how it even works yet because you're not that person just yet, just made that number up.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in itself, it's limiting. So it's okay that you hit it earlier.
Or
Just as great as it's okay if you hit it 5 years later. It's okay if you did it at 50. You know what I'm saying? You have to be okay with when it happens if you're giving your all. You know what I'm saying? If you're just being lazy, then I get that. That's the reason why it's not happening.
Which is, if you put such a far away time frame, then it can garner laziness, I guess, with that. But saying, like you said, I'm gonna keep pushing it off because I have so much time left over to accomplish this.
Absolutely. Like the craziest thing I've ever heard, just to put like things in perspective, which it's the classic line, everyone heard it before, but I'm going to give an example. It's like the level of success that you want, you got to, or whatever it is, whatever goal that you want, you got to want it so bad enough as much as you want to breathe, right? So if you want it that bad, you will accomplish it, right? So someone says to you right now, it's February, whatever, we're in the middle of February. So, and someone says, let's make it a goal for you to make $250,000 by the end of this year. In your mind, is it possible? Absolutely. In your mind, though, from your past experience, and let's just say you make $25,000 now. So I'm multiplying like 10 times what you make, right? This is just an example. And in your mind, how are you going to take that? I'm not sure. It depends on the person. But when you're saying like realistically, like, okay, but if I do it like if I can make $500 or $250,000 in 5 years, like that's dope, right? Obviously that's fantastic, right? But the goal was to do it by the end of this year. So you have about 11 and a half months or 10 and a half months. If I said to you, can you come up with $250,000 if your spouse, your mom, or your kid's life depended on it? Everybody in here's answer is absolutely yes. Mm-hmm. You can come up with $250,000 because you want it as much as you want life. So it's when you want it that bad and you can make it happen. It's just that you don't want it bad enough. You just don't want it. This is the truth. You don't want it.
There's really no reason. See how they gave you a reason, like how you said
right.
if your child or your wife depended on it, you're gonna do it. But you're right here. We're sitting here. Yeah, $250,000. It sounds good. Are we gonna go for it tomorrow?
Right.
No, because we don't have a reason why to go get
the
it.
necessity, quote unquote, in your mind isn't.
You may have a reason, it's just not strong enough.
Sure. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So number 3, unplug for 30 minutes.
I did this before. I think I forgot to plug back in.
If you need to focus, log out of email, social media. Even if you live and die by email, do yourself a favor and log out for 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, you won't believe how much you can get done when you're not always interrupting yourself. This is great. This is good. And obviously this company is geared, or this website is geared for entrepreneurs, business owners, I believe, and higher level leadership. But for the average person, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but it's not necessarily emails that the average person's like getting inundated. They are, but it's not as much as a C-suite leader. But it's definitely social media.
Definitely,
yeah. And the thing with social media is you distract yourself.
Sure.
The thing with email is they keep coming in, and you might have some like direct messages on social media, but it's not to the level of emails because we all know now. As we knew, but back when I remember creating like an Excite email, or it was like a Hotmail or whatever it was.
Hotmail.
That was like you had an email and that was the end of that. Like we literally sent each other emails just to get something.
Exactly.
Just now it's like
use it.
You can't even basically purchase anything at some stores without leaving there with giving them your email address. And then all of a sudden, here comes Bed Bath and Body Works or whatever the heck it's called, and they're sending you 100 coupons every single day or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just them. I'm just saying like stores in general.
Yeah, any retail store, sure.
But anyway, so email, social media. I like how they just took out phones though, because phones, it's really the devices that's distracting.
Yep.
Because you can sit in front of a computer, but you can walk away from the computer. Your cell phone's normally is in your pocket, or at least within 5 feet of from around you most of the time. And that's not just email. That's not just social media. That even just you're flicking through your pictures, even you're playing a game or whatever, just even doing online banking, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally people trade stocks from their cell phones. I mean, people do make beats on their cell phones. People record stuff on their cell phones. I mean, people have conference calls. On it just does not stop, dude. You could be on a conference call, answering an email, and making a stock trade all at the same time on your cell phone. So it's the device, I think, that needs to get pushed away.
Yeah.
More for I would say like the average person, because yes, we do get emails, and if some people don't have desk jobs, so they're not. They're even if they're in construction, they have that phone in that pocket.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if it's not, it's definitely close. Number 4, grab some coffee. That morning coffee doesn't just help you wake up, it helps you focus on the day. If you need an attention booster in the afternoon, a coffee shop run might do the trick. In a study published by the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, French physiologist Astrid Nielig identifies a connection between caffeine and cognition. While caffeine doesn't improve learning or memory performance, Nielig found that it does increase physiological arousal, which makes you less apt to be distracted and better able to pay attention during a demanding task. Do any of you guys use stimulants? Coffee, energy drinks?
No, I actually in the morning I do that 5-hour energy. Yeah. Just to like that quick boost, like to. Now, I am not the most like. I'm not a morning person. I mean, I get up, I keep it moving, but like I'm not the most like. Some people wake up and they're the happiest person in the world, and they're like loving everyone. They can go outside and see. I just get up, go about my day, and just keep it moving until I kind of like wind down or whatever, get to work, and like either caffeine from the coffee or the 5-hour energy drink, whatever.
So the 5-hour energy, is that every day, or is that every day you take that? So I guess it's now taking a shot of those. I've taken them a few times, but what is the equivalence of coffee? Is it 1 cup of coffee or is it 2 cups of coffee? Like the amount of
caffeine?
Caffeine, I guess.
Stimulant and caffeine are 2 different things.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Caffeine is a stimulant, because there's also vitamin. There's B12 vitamins in that, B20, or I don't know what that is. That's a bunch of stuff.
The energy. That's the energy it comes from, right?
Yeah.
B12?
Yeah, it's like tons of B12. Bunch of B vitamins in general.
Be real. Because I know, for me, I have to have... It's crazy because the amount of coffee that I drink throughout the day. By the time I leave the house, I'm down to 2 cups of coffee, and I get to work and I have another, and I feel like I'm like good to go. So I don't know if I were to take a 5-hour energy to substitute it, would it be the same?
So a 5-hour energy drink is the equivalent to a 1 cup premium coffee, but it has amino acids, B vitamins, 4 calories. So it's
definitely
0 sugar.
It's a diet. They consider it as like a daily dietary supplement, like because it has like a bunch of those vitamins and stuff.
Yeah, the good thing, I mean, I love 5-hour energy. These shots. The good thing is there's no crash from it because there's no sugar. The sugar kills you.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Like I'll take it. It doesn't put me like in a. I'm like running all over the place. I'm a maniac. It just gets me going. It pushes me to like I feel more alert, more awake, and it pushes me. And then obviously after that I'll have like another cup of coffee, and then I'm good for my morning. And it'll just keep me going for the rest of the day. Later on in the afternoon, I have, depending on if the guys do like a coffee run, I have another cup of coffee, and that'll set me off for the rest of the day.
Yeah. What about anything else? I remember when I was at Temple, I took
Jolt.
I've had Jolt before.
Red Bull.
That's all caffeine.
But just loads and tons of different kinds of energy drinks, just whatever, all over the map with it. No-Dose. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No-Dose. What was that?
No-Dose. It was like a supplement that literally like you couldn't go to sleep for like Like it was like a mandatory 5 hours the second you took it. It was nuts.
Same thing, all caffeine, a lot of caffeine.
It was all it was just all
like a sugar pill.
Yeah, sugar pill, whatever.
Oh, jeez.
That was straight like caffeine.
B12s. You guys never heard of No Dose?
No, I've never heard.
I've never heard of
No Dose.
No
I
Dose.
have.
Are you kidding me? Probably, oh, you can still get it.
Oh, I thought they banned that.
I know. I thought they banned it too. It's a caffeine
I've
pill.
never seen that. No Dose.
Maximize strength and alertness.
You go still buy that stuff?
Can you?
It says Walmart's down there.
But
All right.
But no, I've never really got into using stuff like that. I mean, I'll once in a blue I'll do a 5-round journey where have a cup of coffee in the morning. That's pretty much about it for me.
Man, I tried a bunch of stuff. I tried basically everything under the sun. Mental alertness.
Yeah. I remember you used to have all
Memory
kinds of
stuff.
vitamins and
Sharp
stuff to try to keep
Mind,
you going.
Brain Elevate, Alpha Mind, Alpha Brain, Ginkgo. I tried it all.
Now,
And I'll be honest with you.
did any of it affect you? Did it give you any sort of extra focus?
Absolutely.
Well, he doesn't have
Stuff
a liver
works.
anymore.
The problem with that's a lot of the stuff that it's expensive as anything. Yeah, it's expensive as anything. Some of the stuff works. Some of it was just junk. But I didn't take that stuff for as part of my normal diet. It was for a stretch of time. So again, I was at school just studying for final exams. I wouldn't take it all year long. I would take it finals week, literally, and just go on this crazy you didn't know what was day, what was night, what was going on. All right, so there's outside of coffee, there's obviously a ton of stimulants, supplements that people take. All right, so number 5, check the thermostat. If it's too hot or too cold in your work environment, it could impact your focus. A study from Cornell University found that workers are most productive and make fewer errors in an environment that is somewhere between 68 and 77 degrees. Okay. So first of all, this is so true because I got so distracted. I think it was yesterday when it got real warm. Was it yesterday or the day before? One of the days it got really warm. Yeah. And I was just in my office. I was in here studying, or actually just taking my midterm exam and just staring at my my screen. And I got the mustache sweat. I'm like, dude, is it hot? I'm so confused. I had a hoodie on though, so I took my hoodie off, and it wasn't a distraction anymore.
Oh,
yeah, because you're thinking of the heat or whatever, or if it's cold, then you're sitting there thinking of trying to warm yourself off.
Yeah, you're thinking of a way how to balance it out.
Yeah, balance it out.
That's what that's what you want to losing focus on.
Right.
But it's got obviously we know how it gets in here with summertime. It gets sweltering hot, so
we don't lose our focus though.
Bad breath at church. Oh yeah.
But okay, so that makes more sense now to check the thermostat as opposed to just reading the headline.
Right. Oh yeah. All right, so number 6, turn on some music. Too much background noise can be very distracting, but according to a study from the Wake Forest School of Medicine, University of North Carolina, published in Scientific Reports, having music playing helps you focus on your own thoughts. The catch? You had to like the song. Given that musical preferences are uniquely individualized phenomena, and that music can vary in acoustic complexity and the presence or absence of lyrics, the consistency of our results was unexpected, the researchers wrote. That's very interesting, actually. So they're basically saying it didn't matter the kind of music or the type of music, whether it was just acoustic or if it was just just words and someone singing, or music and the words put together. It didn't matter that it still affected the individual.
So as long as you enjoy whatever music you play,
as long
as your type of music, it doesn't matter. That'll keep you more focused.
Remember, I said it the other day when you came over. I was like, that's like studying with having music on. Focusing, and I used to do that. At school, I would have to, I would always turn the radio on when I had to do a midterm because that was the only time I ever studied. I would turn the radio on, and I was able to focus that way.
Yeah.
Because if not, I would hear other noise. I would hear him running around or whatever, and I would focus. See him what in the world is he doing now? What the hell is he up to? Is he riding his imaginary dirt bike again? Should I join him or should I just stay here? So that's what for me, the music would kind of balance that out and make me focus.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Because at work, when we'll have Sports Center, it's a lot of talking and stuff. But then we'll switch it on, put the radio on and some music, and it just makes, I don't know, you get that feel good feeling, especially if it's a song that you like. There's something it does definitely do something, make you feel good, and I just focus on more of what I'm doing, and you focus on the song and what you're doing, as everything else kind of just like clouds away. Like it doesn't. I don't know.
Cause stuff like that with like. When you listen to like talk radio or like podcasts or something like that,
Yeah.
those stuff you have to more focus on that as
What
opposed
they're
to
saying.
what you're doing. So
Yeah.
music you can kind of go minus with it,
Right.
Yeah.
to some extent.
But also, for me, it depends on what I'm doing. Like, I can't study with music, but
Sure.
Yeah,
I need music when I'm working out because then I can really focus in on. Although sometimes I lose count on my rep because I'm singing a rap. Literally just going with the lyrics and I forgot what number I'm on or something like that, which is hilarious. But that would definitely get you pumped up for. It can give you the push, which is a focus on the next set. Like, dude, I got one more. Everyone has like their hype music or whatever it is.
Dude, I tell people. I remember as a kid waking up Saturday mornings and like mom always had like the radio on. It'd be like Hall and Oates or something, and she's cleaning. Like she had
Or
everyone
Spanish
clean
music.
or Spanish music, whatever. And she still does it right now. Like even while she's cooking, she'll just blare some music, and it's like just that's soothing to her, and she just focus and. Sometimes you're like, it doesn't make you feel alone. If you really are alone in a room, you have music playing or whatever, you don't feel alone. You're just like,
you kind of lose
it makes everything more comfortable or whatever.
Especially when you get knocked out by the sense of bleach.
Yep.
You're just laying there unconscious.
Chemical coma. When you're in a chemical coma.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
It's Pine Bleach, and Fabuloso.
Yeah. But even like going into something, whether it's work, whether it's, whatever you have going on, if it's, presentation or I don't know, some other meeting, music can definitely like, oh my gosh, it's one of those things that'll actually like save you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes from your own thoughts sometimes, when you're that nervous about something or there's some build up, the music will take it away as you're just like, all right, let me get my mind off that.
You get lost in the music as opposed to
right.
Dude, sometimes like music can like help you express something. You can have something you don't know how to deliver it, and like you listen to a song like, dude, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it can help you express like any
Elmo's
situation.
song.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. You play that, explains it all.
All right, so the last one, doodle. If you're sitting in a long meeting or conference, improve your focus and focus your artistic skills by doodling. According to a study from University of Plymouth in England, doodling aids in cognitive performance and recollection. Doodling simply helps stabilize arousal at an optimal level. Wow, peak performance, huh, by doodling? Keeping people awake or reducing the high levels of autonomic arousal often associated with boredom. That can also be offensive, so you got to be careful as to when and where you're doodling. So that depends.
What you're
but
doodling
it's definitely
on.
a good idea. I remember actually telling several professors at school that I doodle when someone teaches. And I told them that because I'm like, I'm not listening.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention, but I need to doodle. And I am hardcore doodler. Actually, hold on. That was me listening to a lecture this past week. It's just a bunch of random stuff, but it's doodling.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
whatever, but it stays. I'm in my mind. I remember the entire lecture.
Yeah, I mean, especially I do the same thing. Like if you're on a phone conference or even you're just waiting for like Pico and they make you wait and you're just sitting there just
Tic tac.
you're just drawing and like I know people like doodle on. To me it's a thing on what you doodle on too. Like I know like we'll get the mail, we get like at the shop we get like magazines, dude. And I used to have like someone that worked for me and. New stack of magazines would come in and he'd be on the phone setting stuff up and he starts doodling on the magazine that just like a brand new thing. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And it's like a whole lot of nothing. It's just like I get why they're doing it and what they're, but it's like, dude, pay attention to what what you're doing it on.
Yeah, I don't know. Doodling's a very interesting thing. I'm sure there's like 500 million different studies as to why people doodle, and it helps with focus. But I guess it is focus. Before, I just thought I was always saying like, oh, it helps me learn. But I guess they go hand in hand, obviously.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, that distraction, little distraction of doodling also kept me from distracting myself with other stuff, jumping into other conversations or looking around the class, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of things that go into that. Another thing with focus is just going back to school and anyone else is in school, is sitting in front of the class. There's less distraction that you have to worry about. Plus, the lecturer or the professor, whoever's up front, is right there. So you're like you definitely you have their attention as well as they would more than likely have yours. Hopefully. But when you're in the back, there's so much more to look at. You're staring at the back of people's heads, seeing what people are wearing, see what people are doing, see who's talking, trying to look at what they're looking at on their cell phone, just by normalcy of the whole thing. You know,
that's when especially now, like everybody has laptops in classes too.
Yeah,
like, you just see it when everybody's
I'm just looking at
shopping
and
all that stuff.
He's just typing lecture notes.
Yeah.
He could be innocently typing, and I'm just. How fast? How many words do you think you can type? In my thoughts, that's it. It just goes, and I'm whatever. So. I sat in the front, I sat in the back, I sat in the middle, I sat all over the place, but definitely the front works best for me to stay focused. That's just a little thing. But I do find myself, but I think this is like something that came from my parents. Everywhere my parents went, they sat in the back.
Okay.
So I think it was like one of those things, like we walk into church, we sat in the back. We go anywhere, literally, we just sat in the back. Whatever it was, a concert, we sat in the back. So I think that's like a natural tendency that I have just because that's my norm. Well, was my norm until like I was like, I got to break this because I'm not paying attention and I don't know what's going on. So now I'm all over the place. It just depends on, my mood and what the atmosphere is and, what I'm there for. So it depends. All right. So let me that's from fastcompany.com. Again, that article was titled 8 Ways to Improve Your Focus. And of course, this is more geared towards, business people, entrepreneurs, and leadership. But for those of us in here now, what's the best way you guys focus on something, whether it's a goal, a task, whatever? What's the best way that helps you focus on something?
Because we're kind of going along with like, usually like it's more stuff for like work, whatever, but it is like easier to kind of go into music and stuff. Is I have the ability sometimes to put just the headphones on and just go like whatever type of something, or just do tasks at work, and it's like just kind of like that helps me like clear everything else. I like what you said earlier, is just like it drowns everything else out and you can just focus on exactly what you need to do at that moment.
Right. Yeah. I think like it's again, it's for me, it's situational. But the best way I focus on something is definitely complete silence.
Okay.
Like I can't have no sound, no nothing. Doors have to be shut. I'm too easily distracted. I don't know. It's like a good and a bad thing because then when I need that distraction, it doesn't turn into a distraction. It turns into I pay attention to details. Okay. So it can be used in both ways. It's like a good and bad thing. It'd be really good because I see everything, but then it's really bad because when I need to be focused, I'm still looking at everything.
So I get the opposite. Like if I had dead silence, then I start thinking about everything else.
That's where I'm at. Like, if it's too quiet, I can't focus on what I need to focus because I'm like, all right, I heard that noise. Yeah. What was that?
Then everything becomes a distraction.
A distraction, yeah. And then there's more distractions. It does more harm to me than anything else. So if there's like for me, like we were saying, the music throws that off where I may not even like the song, but it's still something going on, and I can still focus on doing what I'm doing and get it done. Like cleaning, I definitely clean the bathroom. Like I can go to the bathroom and be done in an hour and just listen to music, and I'm in a zone. They're calling me. The girls are calling me. Somebody's calling me in the house to do something or whatever. But I'm in a zone that I just keep on going.
Exactly. But then when you hit a song that you like, then it really gets you going.
Yeah, and then I turn it up even louder, and I definitely drown them out. Yeah. So I stay focused to clean, finishing it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a little different. Like, I feel like at the shop there's so much going on. There's madness. Like, not in a bad way. There's, like, conversations going on over here, music playing over here, or the radio, or the TV, my own conversation with my own client. So if there's like a little bit of something, it kind of puts me in like an ease mood, and then I can focus in that way. Like I zone, so in my mind everything's going good, everything's comfortable. So it puts me. If I hear like honestly, if I'm in a complete like silence, which is weird, like if I'm cutting the grass and I'm like I have headphones on or whatever, or if I don't have headphones on, I'm cutting the grass, right? The motor's going. in my mind, I'm like, who's watching me cut the grass? What am I doing? Are these lines perfect? Are these? Okay. You know what I mean, if it's
am I holding the weed whacker wrong?
Yeah, if I'm too like, there's like just complete too much focus. Like I overanalyze things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm overthinking it, like whatever. But if there's like enough that balance. I don't know. That's what makes me kind of like focus. I don't know, in perform in a better way than if it's too loud. I can't do it. If it's too quiet, I can't. You know what I mean? It has to be like
you almost need a distraction on both ends.
Yeah, it's like I need that like and I know where it's at. I just can't describe it, but it's like it just puts me like in a I don't know.
Yeah, I had this. I don't know if it's a phobia or not. I had this like thing where listening to music like at a gym freaked me out because at one point we had MP3 players. We didn't have our cell phones, so our cell phones weren't the source of the music, and so listening to music so loud and so whatever. And in the back of my mind, I was like, what if there's like an emergency and someone needs to contact me? I don't know what's going on. I can't hear them. Because I zone out. Yeah. So it freaked me out. I mean, that didn't last too long. That was probably like a 4-year thing. But it was literally like I was anxiety driven phobia of me missing like an important phone call. Yeah. Or not even, well, not necessarily a phone call, just something that I was so overly focused and so like in the zone that it legit freaked me out. But now it doesn't, obviously, because now my source of music is my cell phone. Well, yeah. So it doesn't bother me at all, which is so weird to come think that like I was that crazy about it. Yeah. Like I literally gave up listening to music like while I worked out.
So that's kind of like me going to bed. I would have to go to sleep with the TV on. So no, but and then like if I try to go to sleep without the TV, it would just it would take me longer to go to sleep. Okay. Yeah. Like instead of in a half an hour, it'll take me about an hour to unwind and not like just if it was complete silent. I couldn't sleep like that. I mean, obviously it changed, but for the longest time, for like over 10 years, I just had to go to sleep with the TV, and I would always set the timer for at least a minimum of 45 minutes. Okay. Just so that right, exactly. But it would only be for like 15 minutes that I'll have it on for.
Yeah, but then it'll be on. Yeah.
But it's on for an extra half an hour. So then, that was the way I could fall asleep. So now I fall asleep without the TV, but it's like it's not instant focus.
Oh yeah, focus. Well, there's a whole other topic of distractions. TV, even TV in your bedroom. Me and my wife, we don't have a TV in our bedroom. I read a long time ago that it steals romance. It steals conversations that you would have just laying in your bed. So I'm like, we're not getting a TV in our room. And I was like, fine, okay. Like, I was waiting for like an argument or something. Yeah. Well, she's not a real big TV person either, yeah. She didn't care. So like that was like our thing, and
well, neither of y'all now huge TV people.
No, but now it's like not even like a thought when I hear people say like they need a TV on, or need a fan on, they need something on. It's just like, dude, I go to sleep because I'm tired, dude. I don't need nothing to make me go to bed. Yeah, then you're up. Then you just shouldn't be in bed or something. I don't know. Like, how are you not tired? Or you're not working hard. Like, that's the thing. I go to bed because I'm tired, dude. Yeah. I don't go to bed just because I'm like, oh, it's time to go to bed. It's 9:35. The wife and the kids are asleep. Like, I don't know what that is, but I go to bed to sleep. I don't go to bed just whatever. But there would be times where I go up early, like, for example, like if my wife's putting, our son to bed, and then, we're not really tired, but we're literally just laying in bed talking. Okay. Pillow talk, whatever. He's like, what do you think about that? And we're just like, okay, until literally one of us just probably passes out.
Are you still awake? Yeah. 10 minutes later.
Wake her up.
No.
Yeah. Or when you don't get a response back, like, all right, so I guess it is quitting time. Yeah, and then I just go to the gym after that. No, I'm like completely stimulate myself again. No, but I don't know. Like, but then you hear it all the time. Like people have whatever preferences. I don't even care. It's good. One's not better than the other, but it's so funny how different people are.
Yeah, I don't need anything to go to bed either. I don't have TV or nothing. But there are some nights that I can't go to sleep. I'll just grab my phone, look something up on YouTube. Yeah. Just being in that position that you're laying down, your hands up.
And that phone drops right on your forehead.
Yeah, it'll just put you to sleep right there.
And wake right back up.
You'll fall asleep getting knocked out by your TV.
And our phones are big as anything now, too, boy. That phone dropping on your forehead, hitting your lip, then you're mad. Like, who are you mad at? So this the last segment, the What Would You Do? Many high-profile billionaires rest his soul, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, etc., have very simple eating habits and wardrobe techniques. What are your thoughts about this when it comes to focusing on what is important? So this came from both of them, obviously stated in different, ways, but they literally, like, if you saw Steve Jobs, he always had the black turtleneck,
Sure.
whatever, with the dad jeans and like those New Balances or whatever sneakers that he had, and that literally wore that every day. That's not a joke. He legit wore that every day. Obviously, different occasions called for a tuxedo or a suit, whatever. Sure. But Mark Zuckerberg wears, I think it's like jeans with a blue T-shirt.
Yeah,
it's
or
just
like
a
hoodie
very
or
a blue, but it's everything's blue. Like it has to
Okay.
be a blue, whatever. And they're saying like, for them, getting the way they dress isn't what makes them productive. Sure. So now they don't have to think about what they're going to wear. They already know what they're going to wear. Kind of like if you go to a private school or something like that where you have a uniform,
sure.
where there's no real thing. You're just getting up, getting dressed, and you're at school
just part
to
of the routine
learn.
at that point.
It's not you're at school to show off your new outfit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of the same concept where he's at work to work, not at work to show off his new sneakers or whatever, his new shirt that he just bought. And they're legit, like, they are dead serious when they say this stuff. Like, I don't even think about I know what I want to wear. Levi jeans and my blue T-shirt, and I'm out the door.
Because that's like even someone's like at work is like, oh, I wish I could just wear scrubs or something like that.
Right.
It's like easy, get up and go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you kind of go on auto drive and just kind of like, get up. So it's easier to, you start your day quicker because you already know, like you said, you already know what you're going to wear, and it kind of takes some of the guesswork out of some of the morning.
Sure. I mean, this is just this isn't a thing against fashion. I was just saying, like, they have like a thing that helps them.
But it's like you're simplifying a certain aspect of it. Yeah.
Taking a distraction, what they would consider distraction.
Sure.
So it's like, do any of us have those things that we don't do just because it's a distraction? Another example would be, what am I going to eat?
Okay.
So then people meal prep.
Sure.
So they already have their meals for the rest of the week, whatever, the next day, whatever. There's no thinking involved.
Yeah, exactly.
You already know, and also prevents you from getting all crazy with it. You already know you're going to eat this, whatever's in this container on Monday for lunch. Also, for budgeting, there's no distraction. You're not buying a bag of chips. You're not buying extra coffee or whatever. This is what you're eating. So there's a lot of distractions that helps kind of shoo
you
away.
Don't much by trying to decide what to eat.
Right. And then you're staring at the menu. Everything kind of looks gross. You're just like, you don't know what to expect.
Mood for
Where
anything.
here, you know what to expect. Yeah. You know what food you're going to eat. You know what wardrobe you're going to wear.
Yeah.
I get it's more along those, that thing. And I think I do a little bit of, for myself, I have to do a little bit of both. I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah.
But like my particular job calls for a certain attire anyway, so I have to. So my it's very limited anyway, so it's very easy for me. And then for meal, I do sometimes pack lunch or already kind of have in my mind what I'm going to, because sometimes at my job it's a cafeteria, so there's like a lot to choose from every single day.
You're
definitely. So it definitely helps that if you meal prep or you already know exactly what you're gonna get.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Like if I do pack lunch, pick up. I do it the night before, pick it up, and go, and keep on rolling out the door.
It's on a level of even organization for me. Helps me focus. And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you hear the classic person, like they don't pack anything but a toothbrush. And they'll get whatever they need when they're at their destination. Like if it rains, I'll go there and I'll buy a poncho. Literally, I'll buy towels when I'm there. I'll just go to the Walmart. And buy, whereas some people will like pack everything.
You pack for like 10 times more than what you're actually. The length of what you're actually there for.
Exactly. Or it even goes beyond that. People packing days ahead.
Oh yeah.
Right. Leading into whatever the event is, or just planning days in ahead. For example, it'd be, or let's just say two people. Okay, I'm not gonna say who's who and what's what, but like just say two people. Like one person, they both have to make, a pie and bring something else, right? So like an appetizer and a dessert, right? So the one person is getting this stuff you know, and this, let's just say this lands on a Saturday. So one person goes shopping on, you know, like that Wednesday or Thursday. Friday they kind of prep everything, get ready to go, and Saturday morning they make it. Whatever, they get to go to the mall, they get to do whatever else they got to do. Stuff's done. Boom, they keep moving. The other person waits literally to that Saturday morning, is at the grocery store when everyone else is at the grocery store, can't find half the stuff that they need to find. Whereas if the other person who started on Wednesday or Thursday, if they couldn't find something at one grocery store, they can take their time the next day or next following day, find it at another store, and so on. So it's kind of one of those things. It's really limiting the distractions by some level of preparation and organization.
Yeah, definitely.
If that makes sense. But it happened to me like a couple years ago where it was like I didn't forget. It was like one of those things where it's like I just pushed it off and went like the day before. Opposite for me though, there was nothing. Like I was literally scraping, trying to get stuff together or whatever. I think it was like, I don't remember. Oh, we just had James. I think it was that long ago. Like we just had James, so he not even a month old. And you would talk about like all over the place. This kid, obviously everyone knows he had like all these like things all over, and I'm just like, dude, we were so distracted and overwhelmed with the whole situation. There was like the day before, and I'm just like running out to, you know, whatever, like a Rite Aid or Walgreens, whatever, to get a card. And then it was like they didn't have something, so I'm going to like CVS to get like a box of chocolates. I end up going to the mall to buy something. I was all over the place. Probably spent like more than what I probably should have. Total disorganization. Yeah. And that was recently. Well, it was 4 years ago.
Yesterday.
That was just last night. Whereas I learned now, like this year, is like, oh, you're not.
You plan the next 5 years of them.
I already have everything, even the chocolate.
By 5
cards.
It's all
dusty by the time she gets it.
Exactly.
By 5 cards the same, just different colors.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think there is something to be said about organization and preparation that helps you focus on the day because you already know what you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
I was alluding to earlier about the to-do list. I already kind of know what I'm doing. I'm not going to say really strict to that, but in some level, I'm like, I know what I got to do. Because I know for sure there's times where I didn't write that to-do list and I didn't get any of what I need to get done. Yeah. I found something else that distracted me.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it, folks. We like to wrap up our episode with quotes. The first one is by Phillip Sweet. All right, stay true to yourself, yet always be open to learn. Work hard and never give up on your dreams. When nobody else believes they can come true but you. These are not cliches, but real tools you need no matter what you do in life to stay focused on your path. All right, Phillip Sweet. And of course, Jack Canfield. Successful people maintain a positive focus in their life no matter what is going on around them. They stay focused on their past successes rather than their past failures, and on the next action steps they need to take to get them closer to the fulfillment of their goals rather than other distractions that life presents to them. Jack Canfield. So there you have it, folks. Focus. In this episode, the crew talks about the techniques they use to concentrate and maintain their focus. We cover topics that range from distractions, exercise, breaks, music, planning, sleep, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Phillip Sweet and Jack Canfield. Awesome. Guys, thanks again for joining us. The Rotated Views podcast was produced for self-development purposes. Huge shout out to our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the Blessed Lifestyle brand. That is BL3SSED.com. Also sponsored by The Motivation Files Unleashed. This motivational mixtape will be your fuel for success. Available on all platforms. Guys, don't forget to visit the website, JimmyLeeVelez.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Rotated Views. If you have any inquiries or questions, email us at info@JimmyLeeVelez.com. On behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we wish you massive success. Stay blessed.